Item 5A is 140 Dover Court. Request for a use permit to construct a second-story addition with transparent windows adjacent to abutting properties that have a side yard greater than 10 feet per sections 12-200 40B1 of the San Bruno Municipal Code. Staff report, please.
Thank you and good evening. As stated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to construct a second-story addition with transparent windows adjacent to abutting properties that have a side yard greater than 10 feet. The subject site is located on Dover Court and is currently developed with a one-story single-family dwelling. The addition is 779 square feet and consists of a first and second-story addition. The first-story addition is 172 square feet and will contain a larger bathroom and a new kitchen area. The second floor addition will be 607 square feet and will include a new bedroom, office, and one bathroom. If approved and constructed, this project would contain 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and would include one office with a total living area of 2,084 square feet and a 2-car garage, which is 425 square feet. One thing I would like to point out about this particular application is that it is meeting all development standards of the zoning district. It's meeting the FAR requirements, the lot coverage requirements, height requirements, and setback requirements. The only reason why we're here tonight and the Planning Commission action is required is because the second-story addition contains transparent windows that abut side properties with a side yard greater than 10 feet. We typically don't see this entitlement request that often here in San Bruno, as the majority of side properties contain 3 to 5 foot side yard setbacks. In this particular instance, both properties located on either side of the subject site have side yard setbacks greater than 10 feet, therefore the use permit is required. The intent behind this requirement is really to protect the privacy of the abutting neighbors, as they are more likely to utilize their rear yard area as open rear yard space. In both instances, staff does not find that there will be significant privacy impacts on the abutting property owners. Specifically, that second-story addition is set back several feet from the adjoining side property lines. Additionally, there is some natural landscaping that will provide an additional screening element. Overall, staff finds that the proposal is consistent with the residential design guidelines. Specifically, the project is incorporating setbacks from the first story below, which is a recommended facade articulation technique within the residential design guidelines. Additionally, the south side elevation is contains a architectural band that really breaks up that first and second story elevation. The project was heard at the April Architectural Review Committee meeting, and at that meeting, the Architectural Review Committee forwarded this project onto the Planning Commission with a favorable recommendation. Staff did send out a courtesy notice and the required 300-foot notification to property owners. We did receive one comment from a concerned property owner located directly to the rear of the subject site, and those concerns were in regards to privacy. Staff did meet with that property owner in person. We went over the full-size set of plans. I discussed the addition with that specific property owner and really just went over it, and I showed the property owner how that second story was set back considerably from the rear property line. Once he realized how far it was set back, he was not objecting to the proposed addition. With that, staff would recommend that the Planning Commission approve the project based on findings of fact 1 through 7 and conditions of approval 1 through 23. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Any commission members have a question for staff before the public hearing?
Through the chair.
Commissioner Marshall.
Just I mean, not on kind of on this project, on this new transparent window thing. So if they didn't have that window in the bedroom, they wouldn't have to come here?
Well, there are transparent windows on the east and west side elevation, so there would have to be essentially no windows on the side elevation. Because there are transparent windows.
Now, could they have a side setback of more than 10 feet? That's the only reason it has to come?
Or the only reason why we're here tonight is because the adjoining properties have a side yard greater than 10 feet.
The adjoining property, not their
yes,
property.
Correct.
The adjoining property.
Correct.
And how do you have a window that's not transparent?
Well, it's a municipal code requirement.
Okay, no, I'm just curious. I mean, is that in the code a transparent window, or is that just?
You'd have one of those obscured glass bathroom type windows.
Okay, I'm just, not because of this project, because I mean, I don't think I've ever seen that since we've been up here. I've never seen this.
We've had one
A condition.
recently,
Have we?
yeah.
I don't remember seeing it. Okay. Thank you.
Through the chair, just for my own understanding then, so if it was like a 3 or a 5 foot setback, they could have a transparent window?
If the adjoining property owners located on either side of the subject site
Right.
had side yard setbacks less than 10 feet, we wouldn't be here tonight. So the only reason why we are here.
So if they were closer in, they could have a clear window? Okay.
Without a permit. Technically, you said that all the setbacks met the requirements. Technically, there's one of them that's 4 feet on one of the side setbacks. So it's close to meeting all the zoning requirements, but just a little different on one.
Oh, yeah, the corner of the garage, you're
Right.
correct, the existing single-family home,
Because it
correct.
goes from 4 feet to
Right,
18.
but I agree with you in substance. It essentially meets all the zoning requirements. Okay, any other commissioner questions for the staff? Okay, I'll open the public hearing and ask the applicant to come forward first and make any comments you wish about the application. Give your name and street name.
My name is Serena Calhoun. I am the project architect for this project for the property located at 140 Dover Court. I don't really have any comments. Matt's been really great to work with, and I think that the guidelines are very clearly set forth, and we did our best to just submit everything in compliance with your standards. Unfortunately, we couldn't move the neighbors' houses. We can only deal with our own. So we hope that you can approve our project. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Through the chair.
Commissioner Biassatti has a question for you.
When we were at architectural review, we had suggested the possibility of pre-wiring for solar. Did you guys look into that at all?
We did look into it. We have a very, very modest budget on this project, and any additional costs will push us a little bit over. So it's something that we would consider in construction if the money is there. However, we haven't put it out to bid yet because we're not through the approvals process. So until we see the final numbers, we are not really able to address that issue at this
Okay.
time.
Fair enough. Thank you for thinking about it.
Thank you very much. Any other members of the public have comment on this application? Okay. Seeing no one coming forward, and without objection, I'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission for discussion.
Through the chair,
Commissioner Marshall.
I move we approve use permit 1103 of the planning with findings of fact 1 through 7 and conditions of approval 1 through 23.
Second. And have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and there's a 10-day appeal period, and then you're all set.
Watch your windows.
Okay? Moving ahead. Thank you.